Welcome everybody to my newest Let's Play, Chrono Trigger. Although I did Let's Play this game earlier, I did a low-level playthrough, so I skipped a lot of treasure chests, skipped most of the dialogue, basically just sped ran through the game. So I'll actually be doing a new game plus using the data that I beat the low-level game with. So when you start a new game plus, basically if you beat the game, you get the option to select new game plus, and then you can select one of the files that you beat the game with, and then you'll restart the game. You'll have all your levels, all your techniques, most of the old equipment that you have, like special equipment like Frog's second Mazmune, like since that's story related. You won't get that, but for the most part you'll have all the stuff in your inventory that you had when you finished the game. Your gold will be at nothing though, so, but with all that good equipment you won't really need your gold. So we start off in bed here, learn about the Millennial Fair. This will be like a normal playthrough that I go through while we, talk with all the people, showing off all the dialogue. I will be getting all the treasure chests. I said because of the low-level game I had to skip some stuff and didn't really talk with people, so. But we'll get through all that now. So we learn about our friend Luca. Before we leave the house, we want to talk with our mom again, because she'll give us our allowance, 200 gold. So I'll bring up my inventory. As you can see, we start with the regular stuff that you normally start with when you're starting a new game. But our inventory has all that old good equipment that we had. So we're going to be super overpowered. Our levels are still low though, but I'll be keeping the levels low for the most part until I meet the first Specchio, the God of War at the end of time. He has different forms depending on your level. Most people miss the form when he is below, when you're below level 10, because if you're not doing a low level playthrough, you're most likely going to be more than level 10 when you reach the end of time. Right now in terms of time we are in 1000 AD. That's the Millennial Fair, and everything points us to go to the Millennial Fair. I'll go there at the end of the episode, but for the most part here I'm just going to be wandering around, talking, going to visit all the different houses, talk with all the people. Here you have the mayor's house. It's basically your classroom. So if you're first time playing the game, you can talk to these people. They give you ideas of how things work. We don't really need that. I'll explain things as we go along. Shelters, they're basically like the tents that we had in Final Fantasy. Maybe you store your hit points and magic points to full. Scatter as well, save points. And one guy mentioned that if you wander too far away, people's dialogue will disappear. So yes, sometimes people have multiple strings of dialogue, so stick close to them and just keep pressing the A button until they're done. Run in Eleanor, we did a lot of that when we did the low-level game. And don't worry about damage in battle. Let's take this guy's advice. Techniques. Techniques, like I said, you start with all the techniques that you had when you do a new game plus. So you don't have to worry about like tech points or anything like that. Let's head to the inn. Inns are basically like tents. You go there, it restores all your hit points and tech points. So I mentioned silver points. You technically don't need silver points to beat the game, but you get a lot of accessories through silver points. There's a Tent of Horrors where you can spend your silver points. Basically, there's different games. There's 10, 40, 80. The 10, if you win that, depending on the character you have in the front, they'll get like a music box to play their theme in their room. At the 40, you can get a clone of the character to be in the character's room. 80, you can win a bunch of cat food, and the more cat food you get, the more cats Chrono can get in his room, to a maximum of 11. He has 5 in his room and 6 downstairs where his mother's at. You start the game with only 1 cat, but like I said, you can just keep collecting food with that 80-point game, and get a whole bunch of cats. It doesn't really do anything except for in one ending. There are multiple endings in this game. I showed them off in my low-level playthrough. But in the one ending, your cats escape and jump into the time portal. So the more cats you have, the more to jump into the time portal. That's the only real change that happens when you hit those cats. Here we got some mushroom enemies here. Takis. They won't be giving me any experience because, like I said, I have that wallet. So the experience they would give is instead going to be converted into gold. So I'll get some extra gold instead. The good thing with this game is a lot of encounters can be avoided, which I did a lot in my low-level playthrough because I didn't want to gain levels. But I'll be encountering all the different enemies here, like I said, just to show them off. Got some beetles. We got beetles and mushrooms basically in this forest here. Showing off a few of my different techniques. The slash technique, it attacked enemies in a straight line. I had that cyclone technique I showed off earlier. That hits enemies in an area. So if a bunch of enemies are grouped up, you can hit a whole bunch of them. And approaching Guardia Castle, no trespassing. Over here, open field. We have another one of these boxes that are sealed with mysterious power. And they'll be able to be opened about halfway through the game. We'll get an item that allows us to open them. So here's Guardia Castle. People are going to throw us out though. I said everything points us to go toward that festival. Everyone's telling us, go to the festival, go to the festival. The guards throw us out of the castle saying, hey, go to the festival. So, as you can see, I can just avoid the enemies there. And avoid the battles. That roly-poly guy ran away. So if that one bug, if they got a little closer, I could almost use the cyclone to take all 3 of them out. I probably could have, but I was hoping that one on the bottom that would move, I could take all 3 out with a slash. But here we go. Yeah, enemies here, not too tough. Easily avoidable as well. Sometimes you'll see these little glowing spots on the ground. That indicates a tab. The tabs are basically used to raise your stats. So you have magic tabs, which can raise your magic power. Power tabs raise your power. Speed tabs can raise your speed. Some stats max out at 16, like your speed. Other stats, like power and magic, max out at 99. And you have to play the game multiple times to basically max out stats, especially the magic. Here we have this Xenon Bridge. You can enter on either side. This is actually going to be a little dungeon in another time zone. And for right now, it's just a place where we can talk with a bunch of people, go into the Millennial Fair. Palette swaps of one another with the same palettes. We'll say like the same thing. I'll show that off here when we go back in. So like all the old men will say the same thing. All the little girls will say the same thing. Yay, a festival, let's go crazy. You know, all the young people will say the same thing. So we pretty much saw that dialogue. There's a big desert. We're going to learn about that in a little bit. It's a side quest much later in the game. We can actually transform that desert into a forest. We're going to learn that somebody tried to do that. Obviously the game is all about time travel, and learn about different things that happen in different eras, and pretty much if someone talks about something in an era, usually there's some way you can affect it. So here's an inn, just paid my money. Like I said, it healed me up. I had no tech points left, so. Markets, this is where you buy equipment. Of course, don't need any equipment. So, all the stuff I have is much better. I could sell some of my old equipment. This guy has some beef jerky here. That's going to be in a side quest later on, but you don't need it until much later on in the game. Probably toward like the last fourth of the game, maybe. So you have plenty of time to raise that money to buy that beef jerky. Here we have a piano man. We can have two different songs, a happy song, a sad song. We'll hear that music throughout the game at different points. Really enjoy the soundtrack of this game, so it's just audio's there. So that beef jerky will play a role with this guy here. The children slip away from us. It's so sad. Dad loves money more than he loves me. The person I hate most, my dad, of course. Hi, I run this town. I'm so rich, I don't know what to do with it all. And he gives us 10 gold if we act like a chicken. If we don't, he calls us boring, but you can always just keep talking with him and getting 10 gold. So if you really want to keep acting like a chicken, you can just keep doing that and getting a whole bunch of gold and buy that beef jerky now, but that'd be kind of pointless. Everyone says Daddy's greedy. They're lying, right? Nope, but we'll be able to change his personality through a side quest later on. I'll go to the festival too. Sadly, they have to stay here and watch because Grandma and Grandpa are going there. So, and we can head back now instead of walking all the way back. We have this ferry. It's just 10 gold, and we can. It takes us back to the village where we grew up at. Like I said, you can take the ferry from either place. It's the same thing, just goes from one direction to another. So I get to see a few little preview of the world map. There's a little hut over there, a cave and a mountain. Yep. So now we'll go back to Truce here to where the Millennial Fair is. I'll actually be heading into the Millennial Fair. I won't be doing much in the Millennial Fair. Mysterious Whirlpool. That'll be important later on. Fritz will learn about Fritz and his fate later on. We won't want to buy another ticket back. So let's head on to the Millennial Fair. There's a lot to do in the Millennial Fair, a lot of mini games. I'll be showing them off in the next episode. I'm just gonna skip this screen right now just to get another party member here. This is our first party member. So you run into her. Depending on the way you interact with her, determines your trial later on in the game. Not too long after this. So I'm gonna act really, really mean. Like, if you want to be a good person, you would talk with her first. But instead, I'm going to be mean and just go right for her pendant. basically the pendant means more to me than her. Same thing, I'm going to, when she wants it back, I'm gonna not want to give it to her, but eventually you have to give it back to her. And she will accompany you. And her name is Marley. She's basically your white mage of the party. So we'll give her all her good equipment. And I wanted to get her because there's some scenes that I want to show off screen. I'll get to where I need to go. Like if you take her to the castle, you'll get some different dialogue. And I also want to get some silver points. You learned about silver points earlier. They can spend at that Tent of Horrors. There's a guy's lunch. If you steal that hurts your character. So people say, yeah, this guy's a thief at the trial. This is Gatto. He is basically a good way to earn silver points. You can have a max of 200 silver points in your inventory at a time. Like I said, Gatto's pretty easy. You just go in there, one-shot him, and you'll get 15. That's probably the quickest way to get silver points. I'll show off some other ways to get silver points, like I said, in the next episode. There's a few more mini games we can play here. Like I said, that'll be in the next episode. So take care, have a good one. I'll see you back at the Millennial Fair next episode. Thanks for following along. Bye.